Here's your news for October 29, 2019. We're starting off with news from Raw today as it seems Rusev and Lana aren't getting back together. The pair met in the closing segment of this week's show, after the ravishing Russian told Lashley she wanted to go to the ring by herself. In a divorce court special of Jerry Lawler's King's Court, Rusev hoped that terminating their marriage wasn't the answer, and felt that his wife's mind had been poisoned along the way. In response, Lana said that she didn't want to air their dirty laundry or embarrass the Bulgarian, as she's already dealing with comments by fans. Despite this, Lana did say that their marriage was all about what Rusev wanted, and even accused him of being a, quote, sex addict, allegedly wanting to do the deed as much as possible, even at WrestleMania. Saying that all Rusev wants is to put a baby inside her, Lana claimed that Rusev knew more about her monthly cycle than she did, and said she wants to make money from being ravishing, not the mama of a bunch of little Rusevs. Bringing up the third person in the equation, Lana said it was Lashley who told her about Rusev's apparent affair with Maria, but when the Bulgarian denied the claims, the Destroyer made his presence known at ringside. After brawling both outside and in the ring, Rusev would shove his wedding ring in the mouth of Lashley, but after a distraction from Lana, the former ECW World Champion would down Rusev with a low blow and punches, followed by another kiss from WWE's new power couple. Interestingly, Lana spoke with her American accent during the segment, and to that one fan in the crowd who yelled, "This is weird, we're on your side, buddy." During the show, Lana and Lashley were spotted hanging out backstage, as it seems the new couple are already pretty committed to each other despite the Bulgarian brute. Last night's show also saw Drew McIntyre face Ricochet for what feels like the 100th time, but to be fair, the pair really do work well together with their opposing styles. A rematch from last week, the angle behind this was the same, with McIntyre representing Team Flair and Ricochet repping Team Hogan ahead of Crown Jewel. Recently returning from injury, McIntyre was his usual confident self, getting in Hogan's face after a leg drop and posing in Hogan's style after a crucifix buckle bomb. All this taunting did allow Ricochet the advantage though, and after the former US champion went for a splash, McIntyre moved, though Ricochet landed on his feet. After this, the match was cut short thanks to the interference of Randy Orton, who leveled the high flyer with one of the all-time greatest RKOs for the DQ, and after taunting Hogan, shook hands with McIntyre, much to the ire of the crowd. It was a good match, but didn't really do much for Ricochet, who took a beating for far too long and, despite using underhanded tactics early on, got taken down very easily. Also, Ric Flair was practically a ghost for this segment, as though Hogan didn't get physical during the match, the Hulkster did a lot more than the Nature Boy. While Ricochet and McIntyre will battle once again at Crown Jewel, Universal Champion Seth Rollins will defend his title against Bray Wyatt in a Falls Count Anywhere match, and got some first-hand experience of the match type this week when he faced Erick Rowan. For a nothing matchup where the winner was never in doubt, the two gave a great performance in Rowan's first match on Raw since getting a decent push on SmackDown. A contest that went all over the Enterprise Center in St. Louis, Missouri, the finish was a nice nod to The Rock and Mankind's halftime heat match, as a forklift helped tip the match back in Rollins' favor. While he may have defeated one of Wyatt's former protégés last night, Rollins will face The Fiend himself on Thursday in what fans should expect to be a hard-hitting contest. Over to women's division news now, and Asuka and Kairi Sane have clearly outgrown Paige. To be fair, the British manager never really gelled with the Japanese stars, and after several months away rehabbing from an injury, Paige returned this week, only to be dumped by her clients. In the opening segment of Raw, Paige got a hero's welcome and introduced the Kabuki Warriors, which was the beginning of the end for the former Divas champion. As Paige attempted to cut a promo on how much she has helped the pair, Asuka and Sane were having none of it, and the Empress of Tomorrow ended the promo by blasting their ex-manager with the dreaded green mist. She may not have wrestled in nearly 2 years, but that hasn't stopped Paige's amazing selling as she writhed in agony from the burning mist like no one else has done before. It's clear that the Kabuki Warriors don't feel they need a manager now that they hold the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, but fans will have to stay tuned to see who they target next, though Paige has responded on Twitter. Replying to a tweet from the WWE on Fox account, Paige said that the attack by the champions will give them plenty to talk about on WWE Backstage, as it seems the raven-haired warrior isn't taking this attack lying down. Later on in the night, Cain would come up short against Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch, and while Paige may have not been able to see the match, the knowledge of Zayn's defeat must have been music to her ears. From Raw to SmackDown, and despite plenty of excuses such as the World Series, the new NBA season, Bellator, and a replay of AEW Dynamite, the numbers don't look good for WWE. For the one-off show on FS1 on October 25th, just 888,000 people tuned into the show, the lowest rating of all time, with the last record holder being the New Year's Eve 2015 edition of the show, which was also the last SmackDown on Sci-Fi, which did 1.6 million. What makes this worse is that the company promoted names like Cain Velasquez, Brock Lesnar, Hulk Hogan, and Ric Flair well in advance for the show, so hopefully the number will rise this week when SmackDown is back on Fox. WWE Backstage on FS1 didn't do much better either, as the October 22nd edition did 426,000 viewers according to Showbuzz Daily, down from the 597,000 who tuned in for the October 15th special preview episode. Though it was bad news for SmackDown's viewing figures, yesterday was good news for The Miz, who celebrated his 15th year with the company. After being told that he'd never make it, the self-professed most must-see superstar in WWE history has been proving folks wrong for years, and WWE celebrated with a special look at The Miz's A-list evolution from the beginning of his career. In a post on his Instagram and Twitter, Miz would thank his doubters for motivating him, saying, "For a guy that was told he'd be fired within 3 months of stepping into WWE, that his 15 minutes of fame are up. Today is a day I celebrate saying thank you to all the doubters. Your hate motivated me. It lit a fire in me to prove you wrong. Raise your glasses because today we celebrate 15 years at WWE. I rarely look to the future because I live in the present, but if you thought those 15 were good, just wait. The best is yet to come. Be Miz." One man who knows all about being in the company for a while is Bray Wyatt, who will be sporting some new ink when he next hosts the Firefly Funhouse. One look at the demented fiend will tell fans he already has a ton of tattoos, but now he has a new one on his hand, which must definitely have hurt. Online, Wyatt said, "Major props to my dude at Scarborough Tattoo for this amazing piece. I already feel more badass than I did yesterday." The tattoo is very badass, and hopefully any soreness will heal in time for the Eater of Worlds to make the long trip to Saudi Arabia for this Thursday's crown jewel. Another tattooed behemoth who will be competing in Riyadh is Cain Velasquez, who recently spoke on the Not Sam Wrestling podcast about his new WWE career. After signing a lucrative multi-year deal with WWE, Velasquez will, in theory, have a few Wrestlemania matches to his name, but said he didn't want to fight anyone specific at the show of shows, but only who he feels is best. He said, I see the sport like I did MMA. Now, there's a lot more things and a lot more techniques that I can use in this sport that I really couldn't have in MMA. So I wanted to showcase my fighting style. I wanted to showcase the pro wrestling side and also the lucha side as well. I want to do everything and just have more tools in the tool belt. I never really thought of opponents, you know? Whoever is the toughest task at hand, that's who I want to go against. I want to challenge myself. I want to get better. I never really chosen opponents. It's not like I want to fight against this guy, it's like, who's the best guy I can fight against, and that's who I want to fight. Given that Velasquez will be taking on WWE Champion Brock Lesnar in his first match in WWE, the former UFC star is already getting a huge opponent from the get-go, though these two could always cross paths at the show of shows. When asked if he feels Daniel Cormier is jealous that Velasquez is a WWE superstar, Cain said, he'll get his time. He's just a big fan and he loves the sport. I see him getting into it if he chooses and, later on down the road when he's done fighting. But yeah, he's a big fan. Him, my wife, kind of put that little thought in my head of starting to do this, and from then on it's like, hell yeah, this is what I want to do. This is a very interesting comment by Velasquez, and does make us wonder what WWE's roster will look like in 5 years' time. Stars of MMA have become more regular sightings in WWE, with Velasquez, Ronda Rousey, and Matt Riddle all having success after coming from the Octagon, and if Cain does have a nice successful WWE career, this could open up the door for more fighters who want to make some serious money without getting seriously hurt. Also at Crown Jewel, boxing star Tyson Fury will step into the ring to battle Braun Strowman, but has spoken to the Telegraph newspaper about his plans afterwards. In the interview, Fury said that as of right now, he has no WWE plans past this Thursday's show, but that doesn't mean he'll never be back. He said, "I'm an entertainer and fast learner, so I've been getting the best out of it. It's taken my mind off boxing completely. I wouldn't be at training camp at the moment anyway, but it gives me something to do. I didn't want October and November off. I knew this would be a month-long job and I knew I would be busy. Never say never, but I've got nothing planned for the future with wrestling." With this seemingly being Fury's only match in WWE, the boxing star should definitely make it count when he faces the monster among men at Crown Jewel. While Fury may be finished by the end of this week, one person who has just gotten started is Catalina Garcia, who made her Raw debut teaming with Sin Cara. Facing Andrade and Zelina Vega, the 19-year-old star did great in her debut, but eventually fell to El Idolo and Vega. Competing under the name Jessie at the Five Luchas Clandestino earlier this year, Garcia made her NXT live event debut on October 10th against Santana Garrett, and after wrestling 3 matches in NXT, it's unknown whether she'll stay on Raw or move back to the Gold brand. We've got some Hall of Fame news now, as WWE has confirmed that next year's ceremony will be on a Thursday due to SmackDown now airing on Fridays. This move will still make up WWE's 5-day Mania week, with the Hall of Fame on Thursday, SmackDown Friday, NXT Saturday, WrestleMania on Sunday, and ending with Raw on Monday. One person fans may get to see over the week is JoJo Offerman, who recently returned to WWE after having her baby with partner Bray Wyatt. The former Total Divas star was at tonight's Raw in St. Louis, and it's great to see she's doing well after maternity leave. More Crown Jewel news now, and thanks to the oodles of cash WWE are being paid to produce the show, the company can now experiment with some new technology. A recent video from the @WrestlingClub Twitter showed the new tech in action, as it seems Crown Jewel will have a huge WWE logo hovering over the show. It's a pretty impressive display from WWE, so hopefully the effect comes off well for both the fans in Riot and those watching at home. Fans will get to see some of the top names in sports at Crown Jewel, but one person they shouldn't expect to see is Jinder Mahal, who is still out with a knee injury. Recently, FanBuzz ran a story where the modern-day Maharaja said he won't be back until at least the new year, leading to some speculation of Mahal returning at the Royal Rumble. Since losing the WWE title in November 2017, Mahal has slid down the roster into mid-card status, but winning the Men's Rumble match could launch him back into a top spot in the company. With that said, missing the Rumble may be the best option for Mahal, as he doesn't want to risk a premature return, and if they can work out a proper comeback for him, spending a few more months away could be what's best for him. As we know, the Royal Rumble matches start the road to WrestleMania, and tickets will now go on sale a bit earlier than expected. Tickets for WrestleMania 36 will now go on sale on November 15th at 10 a.m. Eastern, and the show will air from the Raymond James Stadium on April 5th next year. In a statement, WWE said, "Ticket prices range from $35 to $1,000. There will also be a limited number of Gold Circle VIP packages available ranging from $2,000 to $2,500. The Gold Circle packages include seating in the first 9 rows ringside, access to a Gold Circle VIP stadium entrance, and a commemorative WrestleMania take-home folding chair." And finally, we're wrapping up with some Raw results, as US Champion AJ Styles defeated Humberto Carrillo in non-title action, but after a post-match beatdown by the OC, was sent packing thanks to the Street Profits. Charlotte Flair and Natalya also teamed up to defeat the Iconics, with this victory surely helping them raise a case for a women's tag team title match down the line. Also in tag team action, the Viking Raiders defeated Rizzo and Bryant in non-title action, while Buddy Murphy defeated R-Truth, though Truth nearly had the win. One could make the point that the rapping superstar would have defeated the Australian if he hadn't been distracted by 24/7 champion Sunil Singh, but after pursuing the Bollywood boys, ran into a lights-out knee by the former Cruiserweight champion who got the win. It seems Truth won't rest until he once again holds the 24/7 title, but he's not the only person looking to capture the coveted green title.